These are my recommendations and tips to beginner painters. Some technical stuff, mindset stuff, a little sprinkled in, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Here we go. First of all, there are no mistakes, okay? As long as you like the outcome, it doesn't matter what someone else thinks. Now, there is something to be said of how to paint in a realistic manner. We're learning techniques, learning how to mix paints, elements and principles of design. I get that, but just do it. Okay? Become confident and learn not to be scared of putting paint on the canvas. And it doesn't matter if you're painting with oils or if you're painting with acrylics. Oils are very forgiving. If you're painting with acrylics, just wait 5 minutes to let it dry and then paint over it, you know? All artists make mistakes. I prefer the term adjustments. The only way you're going to get better is by practicing and making mistakes or adjustments. To go along with that, don't worry too much about the archival quality of your painting. I once painted some cherry blossoms on a big piece of cardboard. Cardboard is not archival. It's going to disintegrate rather quickly. Oh, why are you painting on cardboard? It's not gonna last. You know, you need to be painting on canvas. You need to be painting on something, you know, a professional painting, a professional grade. I'm like, no, I like it. And I ended up giving it away to a friend and I had some fun. Painting is just like any other language and it's a form of self-expression. Yes, if you want your paintings to last the test of time, like a Da Vinci painting or prehistoric cave paintings, I don't know. If you want people in 3,000 years to see your paintings, then yes, worry about the archival quality. If it's just as a way to relax, to communicate ideas, to express yourself, don't worry too much about it. My next tip, start with black and white. When you're first learning art in college, you only work in black and white. It's true for drawing, it's true for painting, it's true for photography, it's true for graphic design, it's true for interior design. You learn all of the principles and the basic techniques and everything in black and white. You learn value, you learn composition. If you really are starting from the beginning and want a good foundation of learning how to paint, don't start with color. It's way too complicated. Learn values, form, texture, composition, all that jazz first. Like I said, when I was in school, I would spend an entire semester working just in charcoal. Maybe set a goal for yourself of 20 projects that you're going to complete solely in black and white. After that, I would recommend going to learning primary colors. Mix your own colors just from the primaries, red, blue, and yellow, and avoid black paint like the plague. If you need to make a shadow, use blue, like this blue. Your shadows are gonna look more rich. Avoid black if at all possible. Next tip, use less paint. I've seen it a lot. Teaching beginners how to paint. They squirt out way too much paint than they need, and then they mix it up, but then the mixture that they made was not the right color, and then they try to fix it by putting even more paint on, and it just gets worse and worse. So a little bit at a time, until you get comfortable with color mixing, until you know how to gauge how much paint you need for how big your surface is. I have seen lots of wasted paint and it kind of makes me cringe, like wasting paint. I'm always saving my paint and like extending them in these, but that's just my thing. I mix glue with my paint. Like if I have a little bit left over from a project, I'll just put it in one of these containers and it keeps for several weeks to several months. I think the glue might act as like a preservative or something, but I've never had one go bad, no matter how long I've let it sit. I think the most I've let it sit is maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. You be conscious of how much paint that you're squirting out of your tube. Take care of your brushes. It doesn't matter if you have cheap brushes like from the dollar store or brushes that are like $100 a brush. They'll last longer. Don't leave them soaking in water. You have this like little metal part and it's crimped right here, so that's helping the bristles stay in. What's also helping is that these bristles are glued inside. So when you have this sitting in a thing of water, the water gets soaked up inside of the metal tube part and it loosens the glue. The longer that you keep them sitting, the more damaged your brush will be. I mean, for a few minutes, but I'm talking about like hours. When washing your brush, just basic soap and water. And then when you dry them down, the brush facing down. If you can't do that, at least have them dry flat. Do not put them like this to dry, because then all of the water as it dries is going to go down into the tube. Dry like this or like this. Wash your brushes. Don't leave them soaking. Don't leave them soaking. My last tip is to use multiple sources of information or references. When you're starting out, things like still lifes and painting plein air and having a live model for figure painting, that is preferred. That is what you learn in college. Those things aren't always possible or may not seem the most fun to do. In school, we always had to have a minimum of like 3 to 5 photo references if we were using photos. And ideally, you take your own reference photos. But you know, I get it. Pinterest gets very fun and addictive, and there's lots of pretty pictures by really famous photographers that like, oh, that picture just looks really pretty. I just want to paint that thing. I do that all the time, girl. I do that all the time. I understand. But you'll use more of your creativity if you have more references. I work a lot with images, combining a bunch of images together to create a whole new reality. Sometimes I'll do a figure painting where I combine different environments, or I even did a painting where I combined different elements of a face, like from 3 or 4 different faces. One of them I took the eyes, another face I took the nose, another face I took the lips. Sometimes I'll do a still life, like I will put together a still life in front of me on the table, but sometimes I have to move it before I'm done with the painting. So what I'll do is I'll take a picture or multiple pictures from like a few different angles, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and I'll keep painting from those images. If you want to work from a lot of images as well, get quality images. Take your own images. If it applies, get multiple images. The whole point is to make your work more quality. I hope this was helpful for you. If you liked it, thumbs up and subscribe. I'm grateful for you. Stay blessed.